Okay, I'm gonna go and teach some people how to race on the dirt at Brewerton with my dirt setup. And this isn't a way to help you instantly win races or anything. It's just a good base point to start at, and then you can develop your own techniques by just changing things up a little bit here. So one thing that you'll quickly learn at Brewerton with this setup is that it is super tight going into the corner in the center of the corner, and then when you come out it really likes to fishtail. It gets really loose. First thing to show you is how to make a fairly fast lap. Start up by the wall, full throttle, you start to turn left coming down into the corner, and then you let off the throttle, just poke the throttle a little bit, and then once you feel it start to get a little bit, when you feel it grip, nail the throttle and just keep holding it wide open, and then slowly self-correct yourself to the right as you exit the corner. This is what you do from the in-car. So you can see the wheel. Turn it in, and then you let off throttle when you feel it, you got enough grip that's going to stay down. Hit the throttle back, the back will start to come out, and you just slightly recorrect it, turning to the right, and just start to let the car slide up coming out of the corner. Now sometimes the car will already be on the low lane and you can't do that, but if you see that he's going to overdrive the corner, start up high, let off the throttle, and then quickly get back to the throttle, and you can usually get the car sideways, and it'll come right back down, and as he slides up, you go underneath of him. And then if he slides up enough, you can usually get such a good run that you can actually even just completely pass him there and slide right back up in front of him, and that will kill his momentum. If not, you keep it hugged down to the inside from the in-car, completely let off, and nail it back. And at this point they're usually sliding up. As you slide down, you get underneath of them, and you want to get as close to the inside coming out of the corner as you can without letting off. And then you just keep it to the inside if the guy's still there. Now if you have a car on the outside and he's keeping a good line, there's no way you're going to get to the inside. You're going to have to make the pass on the outside. So what you want to do when you're trying to pass on the outside is that's the momentum line. You want to keep your momentum up. The guy on the inside won't have as much momentum, so usually you'll be passing him either going into the corner or coming out of the corner. In the center of the corner, that's where he'll usually gain time on you. You gotta be careful that he doesn't slide up in front of you, trying to do a slide job to break the momentum of you on the outside. So what you want to do is when you come off the corner, you want to stay up high, and then when you start to go into the corner, let off completely, pulse it a little bit if you need to, and then quickly nail the throttle again about center of the corner. He'll still be pulsing the throttle trying to figure out when he has enough grip and stuff, but you will be able to get on the throttle a lot quicker. You should be able to get going and take him on the back stretch or front stretch from the in-car. So you start off high. Usually sometimes you want to drive it a little bit harder into it than he would, so you get a little bit of time, then you just completely let off. Let the car start to come around and get back on it. And you'll find that you have to work the wheel quite a bit more up top than you would have to do on the bottom, trying to keep the car straight. You don't want to drift too far up, but you don't want to drift down. So the last thing you want to do is come down on the person when you're trying to pass on the outside. And that's what this tutorial is for, is to try to keep you from running into other people and giving you other options to go, rather than trying to take the person out. Now the opposite of going on the outside would be, of course, being on the inside. But one of the biggest problems that people have in the dirt track is the fact that you want to slide up when you're on the inside. And this is how a lot of wrecks usually happen, is someone gets a good run on the outside, but the person on the inside either slides up or makes a mistake and usually will end up going up high into the other person, causing a wreck. Now it's pretty hard to stop that because that's just the way dirt track racing is you usually slide around a lot. But hopefully if you watch this and learn from this, you'll be able to learn how to keep it on the inside and not necessarily always slide up into that person and make passes and stuff on the inside. Now usually rule of thumb, inside's always the fastest line. In dirt track racing, usually you can get away by going on the outside, passing people. But still, the inside is usually where you want to try to make your passes. So, pretending that there's a car on the outside of you, you want to make sure you give them a lane. Usually want to use that line the best thing, keep it low. Going into the corner, completely let off the throttle. And then slowly get back on, and then get to full throttle when you can. You'll sometimes need to pulse it to avoid going up. If you need to do that, do that. It's better to let the guy go on the outside than slide up and wreck him. Here it is again, you completely let off. You get to the first tire, slowly get back on until you feel you have the grip. And sometimes you'll need to pulse it. And just slowly get back to full throttle. Keep it as low as you can, give that person on the outside as much space as possible. And this is what it looked like from the in-car. And you'll notice that if you look at the steering wheel compared to the one when you're on the outside, you're a lot more smoother on the inside. This is usually because you're going a little bit slower, you have a little bit more grip. And that's really good because you'll have a little bit more control of the car. So if the person on the outside does make a mistake, you can usually beat him because you have more control than he does. You usually want to hopefully the person on the outside will give you more room. You can slide around a little bit more. But rule of thumb is to go nice and slow, make sure you take it easy, make sure you don't wreck the person. If you can be a clean driver on the dirt track, more times than not, you'll be a much cleaner driver on the pavement. Every track has some what not to do's. A few things that are what not to do's on Brewerton is the junior line. Junior line's like what I call the far outside line. Because if you look at it, you can see some dirt there. If you hit that, you're in trouble. You'll also find you're much looser up there, and if you try and nail the throttle, you'll get loose. So it makes it really hard to get back to the throttle 100% up there. Plus, it's the longest way around the track, so it's not that good. If you ever find yourself in the 3-wide situation and you're on the outside, best thing to do is to let the person go. And then try to get back on the inside. And like I said before, the biggest fear is that outside, that real outside and that dirt there. This is what happens when you hit it. You can sometimes save it up there, but you'll have to use the wall as a little cushion or something. Now, the other problem that you'll really have, which you'll probably end up doing, and if you don't end up doing it, you should probably try it so you know what happens, give you that motivation not to do it. Do not hit that grass. Now it's turning completely to the right there, and it still spins. And sometimes you'll even flip going down there, so do not hit that grass.